Hello, and welcome to Grug Gaming, and welcome back to our playthrough of Dominions 4. In the last episode, we were getting our armies ready to push against Abyssia, and it's time for us to do that. We're going to set up for some more recruitment of undead troops in our back flanks and continue to make our magic beans in a jar, and we will go ahead, end the turn, and begin to push west. And Abyssia didn't try any sneaky tactics last turn, so we went ahead and summoned some more Pale Riders. We didn't find any more magic sites, but we now have a much improved magic gem income every turn, so we don't have to rely that much on new sites from what we already have. 4 battle afflictions cured as usual. Our troops are starting to starve. We have that giant army moving west. We would expect to see that. So I've already set these guys up into battle formations. They're ready to go. We'll go ahead and push them over onto this territory. We're going to continue recruiting back here because we want to be able to reinforce and keep pushing. Here we have this troop moving general that we talked about last time. He's going to come up here, pick up troops, and drop them off, and just continue to do that in a cyclical pattern. Grave Chill is still looking around, seeing what's happening. We haven't seen much happen in the back area. There isn't a huge army we don't know about. There might be down here, but not up here in the north at all. We've managed to continue to hold this lightless cavern province, which has been impressive. So, with this setup, we'll go ahead and do another turn of recruitment and begin this battle against Abyssia. Let's see how that turns out on the next turn. And it looks like we have quite an exciting set of results for last turn. So, we completed more research and enchantment. Not going to help us much, again, because we are getting to the maximum level of spells that our mages can actually research. So we'll change our research next turn to just kind of fill out anything we haven't got looked into yet. More Pale Riders being cast. We cast another Behemoth. A report from Kolar Magor. I'm going to bet this is more enemy spells. Yep. 7 units were hit, 4 units killed. Flame bolts from Abyssia. We should have expected it. Looks like we had an assassination attempt on one of our communion slaves. And it was a demon bred who didn't make it. That's beautiful. Take that, Abyssia. It looks like there was a battle in Gwerth. This is us assaulting with our huge army that territory that has the castle. You can see that, oh, we might have a problem. Didn't think about this. But our heat-causing characters are right next to our undead troops. We might need to be careful of that. You can see we have this huge number of water elementals that come in out of nowhere. Just some of their province defense. Let's not watch this battle. It could take a while for our troops to get across. Take a look at how that went. We lost some long dead horsemen, lost some of those cheap troops we've been recruiting, lost one of our standards. I'm going to have to take the guys that we have captured and move them much farther up in the army to get them away from us. We did kill 7 heavy infantry and 2 warlords. Sneaking enemy discovered by patrolling units. Looks like a false prophet showed up in the Sleepy Mountains to try and turn the people from our gods, but we took him out no problem. Couple other sneaking enemies. An assassin. Caught and killed. And a slayer. Caught and killed. If we can keep the assassins from getting at our troops, that's going to be great. We're in Gwerth, fighting at that fort's defenses to see if we can take it out, but we haven't destroyed the gates yet. We need more time to succeed. And more brigands killed by our patrolling troops. So that looks great. Let's go ahead, grab these Abyssians, and let's just get them to the front. There we go. Let them take the brunt. They're captured troops. They can do what we tell them up there. But we don't want to risk any more of our long dead to battle with them right there with their fire spells. Go ahead, grab these recruits up here. Move them south. so we can grab the others. When we get here, he's going to grab a couple more of those bottles of living water we've been producing and drop those off with the southern troops as well. We're going to hold and take this fort. Actually, there's not much here. If we sweep north and then west, put a huge province defense here, and then come back to the fort, we may be able to bottleneck them even better. I like that strategy. So we'll go ahead and march north to take this province. Nobody worth recruiting here. We'll go ahead and set up to summon more undead troops. Just keep this going in the background, because we are going to need something to fight Pelagia with too. I still haven't figured that out, but it looks like we're currently winning against Abyssia. So let me set up those summonings, and we'll see what happens in the next turn. So with the end of that turn, we have more Pale Riders, more Behemoths. Gwerth, where we marched our troops out of, they went ahead and took it back right away. We expected that, no big problem there. A battle in Farseer Mountains in the north. Let's see what was there to meet our troops. I don't think there was very much. Now that we have them away from here, they won't be causing any issue. Oh! Who are you? You don't belong here. One of our augurs is in the wrong spot. We'll need to move her back with the others. Oh, yep, just province defense. We won't bother watching that. Did we lose anyone? Some long dead horsemen. Not a big deal. We would expect them to die. They are just traff troops to hold up the enemy. We might want to spend our death gems on something else, though. I'm noticing that we are losing a lot of them every battle they're in. Couple brigands. And Farseer Mountains, we have the starvation because of our huge army. Nothing we're going to worry about. So, let's see what they've done. They moved this giant force in. Do we want to play tag with them or not is the question. I think we will. Oh. Actually, no. We'll see if they'll chase us north. Let's spend some gold here, just to soak up some troops. Don't want to spend that much because up here we need to have a laboratory built so that we can pick up those vials of water elemental that we've been taught building the whole time. Without a laboratory here, we have no way to get them out of our magic stores. Again, load up on these troops. Get them transported south. I kind of like that this priest is following his army around, reminding him that we're fighting for the great power of Grugtar. So with that set up, we have our same recruitment across the board. We'll set up more of our recruitment in the south for more pale ones, or maybe a different undead. We'll take a look through that, and we'll go ahead and end the turn. And so, we've got a couple battle results to look at. I decided to cast the Ritual Rebirth to see if we could summon an undead hero. Since we've had Bob die in the past, I'm really hoping to bring him back to life, is what I've decided. We had a couple assassination attempts. We lost an augur to a slayer, but our Bane killed a slayer. I'd rather lose an augur than that Bane. That Bane is what is protecting and controlling all those undead troops that we have. We have a battle in Scraw Point. A Beast Trainer and some Fire Snakes. It's not worth us watching this. But again, 7 dead, and we lost 8 of those long dead horsemen. I don't know that they're worth the death gems we're pumping into them. We have a battle in Farseer Mountain. This is us against province defense, this is our province defense against a small group of their troops. Not worth watching. Just a couple Spine Devils, a couple we killed. That territory we took and then ran right out of to run forward. A couple unexpected events in the Sleepy Mountains. 10 cursed units and 1 nature gem. Well, that's just awful. In Ragdan, a couple nature gems. Found a split trunk of an oak tree. Couple sneaking enemies, a slayer, gotcha, and another shadow imp, gotcha. 3 battle afflictions, and then we have our large armies suffering from supply issues. So we'll take a look at that. So it looks like they marched right behind us. what I'm going to do is we're going to take this force, march back to this castle again. We're going to stop recruitment for 1 turn here, bringing up a large number of resources. Pump it into this province defense. Ooh, what do we get here? Horse tribe cavalry, short bows and light lances. Pump that up some more here. We've got the money to spend. Let's do it. That gets us to province defense level 28. A little bit harder for them to take. Especially if we can just kill some of these and not endanger our army. So we have a supply of 209, and we're using 202. It doesn't make sense how we're starving here. It does here because we're using 289. The only supply is 148 troops worth of supplies. So we'll march back here. We will take the troops that we brought down and drop them off. There we go. We'll take these guys back with us, or just leave them hanging out here, actually. Let's grab these. Ooh, looks like we're full. Do we have another commander who can take troops? Ah, there we go. Let's grab all these troops and put them on this hero. And then we'll have him march back to the north. We've built that laboratory here so we can pick up those vials of living water. So, we're going to be marching back one more time to assault this province and filling up on those bottles of living water to continue to march against Abyssia. Let's see how that happens at the end of this turn. And I went ahead at the very end of the turn, also took our troops in the north just south of Bulwark and had them move south as well. Let's just take this hammer and pound it down against Abyssia. So we've got more Pale Riders, more Behemoths, but then we had the Battle in Gwerth, all province defense. So that means that all their troops are inside the castle. Again, these long dead horsemen, might as well just kill them ourselves and not bother taking them to battle. They just seem to die for us. That's awful. We had a battle in the Farseer Mountains. We pushed south. We lost 45 troops. I'm just taking a look here. There was a warlord, heavy infantries. This looks like a great battle to watch. Let's take a look at that. So we had our troops here and our augurs against a couple fire drakes, heavy infantry, warlords, and their actual Abyssian troops. What is this? Oh, it's just a little patch of ground on fire. We'll go ahead and zoom out and see what happens. There's our communions. Now again, I would expect to lose more of these troops than we have in the past, because they do have less armor than the Principe. That's how we're able to amass so many of them. But they give us just the same number of javelins as we would on the Principe. Oh! Again, we've taken over a couple of their creatures, and they are now fighting for us already. Somebody's casting Raised Dead back there. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little. So here is where we're going to see them do a lot of damage. This high protection is going to mean that when we do hit them, we're not going to do as great a damage. But we are shooting fire missiles, but that doesn't help us at all because it's Abyssia. So let's see. Oh, those fire drakes. I hate those with every piece of my being. And again, it's nice that we have these cheaper troops, because if we were losing that many Principe every single fire breath attack, it would be devastating to our economy. But we can lose a huge number of these guys and it doesn't hurt us nearly as much. Looks like we're starting to cut into him here a bit. Again, we did win this battle. We're just watching to see what happened. Wow. That is just terrible how much damage those things can do. Let's hope that Abyssia doesn't decide to completely surround their territory with those when we start to push even farther in. Looks like they're starting to rout. Can we please kill these before they get us? Ah, there we go. They're running. We're going to take that. That explains how we lost so many troops, though, when we look at that, because 45 troops, 48 of these census troops, and almost every single one of those was the fire drakes doing that. Terrible. But we can always get more of them. Other than that, we lost a couple standards. We gained a couple of the Abyssian troops for our enslaved mind spell. And we wiped out the rest of them. They had one warlord who ran away. Unexpected event in the ancient woods. We have taxes have been raised by the righteous governor of the realms. He wisely aims to improve defenses. Plus 10 province income. Plus 5 defense in that province. Afflictions cured. In Gworth, we're knocking at the gate again where we just took that. In Gworth, there's a lack of supplies. Again, we're going to have to deal with that as we have such a large army. So, we now have this choke point. If we can hold, I don't think there's many troops here we have to worry about. I think we can just start moving troops south. We'll grab Tarentus here. He's going to be the new leader of our armies in the north. I think we'll be able to move some troops south from this fort just to hold this territory. We'll be able to move forward here and hold this territory with province defense. We'll take out this fort, and then we will have achieved all of our plans against Abyssia. We'll be completing those plans and figuring out how we will finally conquer Abyssia in our next episode of Gaming with Grug. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we hope to see you soon.